respect your opinion as well. We all have different tastes, we all have different opinions on everything, and also games, so please be polite. If I or someone else has a different opinion than you. It's kind of sad that I have to say this, but gamers. Actually, on one hand, I like making gaming related ASMR videos, but on the other hand, well, because of course it's my hobby, and on the other hand, it is really annoying because there are so many people that stumble upon my gaming videos and they don't realize what it is, and if I had €1 for every time someone asks why I'm whispering, I would be a millionaire, I guess. Well, most people are actually asking, which is nice, but some people just get really nasty, so that's not nice. Yeah, my 3DS collection. This is my current 3DS collection. It's July right now, July 2016, and the video will most likely be up in September or October, so yeah, just don't be confused. Yeah, I pre-record a lot of stuff in advance, so I'm way ahead of my schedule. That's great. So, let's start with the games. So first of all, I have a new 3DS XL. It's the Majora's Mask edition, and I did an unboxing of that. It's actually one of my very few soft-spoken videos, so if you're interested in that, you should definitely check it out. I love Majora's Mask, so I'm very happy with the purchase. And I had a regular 3DS XL before, which was great. It was the red one. You can actually see it in some of my videos. But, you know, then I would have not upgraded to a new 3DS XL if it wasn't for the Majora's Mask edition, because, as I said, I love it, so I had to get this. Yeah, so let's start with my collection. The first game that I have here is Pokemon Y. And oh my goodness, I love this game. This is definitely one of my favorite Pokemon generations. I think 1 and 2 are my favorite, but this is just awesome. I spent way too much time on this. I spent, well, I'm not giving you an exact number, but I spent a couple of 100 hours on it. I love this game. And Sun and Moon isn't out yet, obviously. Really excited for it. I saw a couple of the Pokemon that were leaked and revealed, and I'm not too excited about them yet. I don't know, most of them look really odd. I'm currently Team Rowlet, but it definitely depends on the final evolution, so that might change. Well, Pokemon Y is just amazing. I love the graphics, I love the gameplay. The story was, well, it's a Pokemon story, it's nothing special, but it was nice too, and this one is not that good. It's basically just Tetris, and yeah, I don't know. It's. I wouldn't spend a lot of money on it. I think I got it for 10 euros, so you cannot go wrong with Tetris for 10 euros, but I don't think I would spend more on it. Luigi's Mansion 2. I did an unboxing of this ages ago. Well, Luigi's Mansion 2. I think it has the English subtitle Dark Moon. It does not have an English subtitle in German or a subtitle in general. Great game. I have never played the original actually, so I cannot really tell how good it is compared to the GameCube version of it, to the original, to the first game on the GameCube. I cannot talk today, I'm sorry. But this one was really nice, although I have not finished it, so I cannot really speak about the whole game, but I enjoyed it, so it's cool. And it's nice to see Luigi for once in his own game. Mario Kart 7. I don't know what to say about this game because it's awesome. Mario Kart is always awesome. It's great on handheld, the graphics are decent, and it's a lot of fun online. I'm actually not sure if people are still playing it online. I guess they do, because it's the only Mario Kart on the 3DS. Like always, there's always just one Mario Kart per console. So yeah, it's a great racing game. Oh, and some of you are probably wondering what this is. This is specific to German games. This is a USK logo, which basically tells you for what age the games are. So this is for ages 0 and up, so basically everyone can play it. I think I did a PS3 collection video. I'm not entirely sure, but these USK logos were changed a couple of years ago, so they were smaller before. And you may have seen that in my PlayStation 3 collection video, although I'm not sure if the PS3 games had the old logo. So I'm not entirely sure. So the logo was smaller before, and then they decided to make it bigger and basically ruin every cover out there. Some covers can be flipped, and the other side just has the cover art without this logo here, which is great. But unfortunately not every game has it, so that's kind of a bummer. Resident Evil Revelations. Nope, I do not have the version with the spelling mistake. There are some versions that have a spelling mistake on the spine. It says Revelations without the I think. Yeah, I think it was that. But I have not played the game. I have played the demo, and then I decided to get the game a while ago, and I have actually never really played it. I like the demo, I like the atmosphere, I like third-person shooters, I like Jill Valentine, and I like Resident Evil in general, so this is probably a really good game, but So this is basically a Monster Hunter game just with a Final Fantasy logo on it, as far as I understand. I have never played Monster Hunter. I am not interested in playing it. So, I wasn't really sure what I was thinking when I bought this, because I knew about this before, so that should have been a warning to me, but nope. It had Final Fantasy on it, so I had to get it. I do not like this. It's not my type of game. I'm not into Monster Hunter type of games. So, yeah, not my thing. Sorry for all those Monster Hunter fans out there. But there is a game, oh right, they're in the wrong order, that I'm a huge fan of, which is Bravely Default, and oh my goodness, this game is absolutely fantastic. It's an old school turn-based JRPG, and it has a lot of advantages over classic RPGs, JRPGs, because it has modern elements in it. You can speed up the battle, for example, and it's just so great. I love it. The music is awesome. I love this game. It gets a bit repetitive at some point. A lot of people criticized it. I don't think it was that bad. Lots of people also criticized the story, but I don't think there was anything wrong with the story. It wasn't as epic as Final Fantasy VII, but I think it was still great. It has chibi style characters, which is a bit of a bummer because I'm not into that. The graphic style is very unique, I would say. But I still enjoyed the game. It's an absolutely wonderful game. And if you own a 3DS and if you are into old school RPGs, you have to get this. Definitely do buy this because it's awesome. I think there's a demo in the eShop, but the demo is really bad. It does not do it justice at all. So, Bravely Default, it's awesome. Speaking about it, Bravely Second is the second entry, obviously. I have not played the game yet, so I cannot really tell you much about it. It's basically the same type of game, just a different story and some different characters, as far as I can tell. Yeah, that's all I can say. A lot of people say it's better than the first one. I don't know. Well, I haven't played it, so I cannot tell, but I think I will like the first one better. Just the gut feeling, I don't know. So I've rearranged the games a bit. So now just hate Water Temple. And I love Ocarina of Time, but here's a game that I love even more, which is Majora's Mask. It's such an awesome game. When I was a kid, I just really enjoyed the atmosphere, and I thought it was so different from the rest of the Zelda games, so I really enjoyed it. And I cannot really decide if this or Ocarina is my favorite, but these two are definitely my favorite games, or among my favorite games of all time. And this gem is basically one of the reasons why I bought a 3DS in the first place. Because when Ocarina of Time was announced, I thought that there has to be a Majora's Mask 3D someday, because they already have the game and they already have the assets, because Majora's Mask used a lot of the assets from Ocarina of Time because it's a direct sequel on the same console. It also came out on the N64 originally, so they basically had most of the assets from Ocarina of Time 3D, so they did not have a lot of work with this. Plus it was not developed by Nintendo, it was developed by a company called Grezzo, so Nintendo had absolutely no work at all with this, not a lot at least. So I thought they would be really stupid to not release Majora's Mask 3D. So I bought my 3DS when I wasn't really interested in a lot of the titles yet, because I don't know, it just took a while for the 3DS to get interesting, I think. And I was hoping for this to come out. Well, so what basically happened is that I watched every Nintendo Direct. If you're not familiar with it, it's some sort of stream that they do a couple of times a year where they just announce new stuff. And I watched every Nintendo Direct to see when they would announce Majora. And one day, I think it was in November 2014, I decided to not watch the Direct because I don't know, I wasn't in the mood for it. I was like, oh, they're not going to announce Majora anyways. I had almost given up hope at this point for whatever reason. And I did not watch the Direct, and I opened my Twitter and I'm following a couple of Nintendo accounts. The first thing that I saw on my feed was the Majora's Mask 3D logo. I literally screamed at my iPad screen. It was completely insane. And I was so excited, I wrote a text to my boyfriend. It just said OMG MM3D and a couple of exclamation marks. And he was just like, what? So yeah, I was really excited. And I think the game came out in March the following year, 2015. I have the special edition of that, and I love it. They did a few changes here and there. Lots of people games, you have to complete dungeons in a specific order, and you find items in these dungeons that help you to progress. So if you don't have the item, you cannot progress, which means you have to, yeah, like I said, you have to clear the dungeons in a specific order. Link Between Worlds does not do this. You can basically rent or even buy all of your items right from the start, or not right from the start, but at the beginning somewhere, and you can complete the dungeons in any order that you want to. So the difficulty doesn't increase in other Zelda games. The difficulty increases with every dungeon you clear. So this does not do this because, you know, you can enter any dungeon at any point technically, so they are all the same difficulty basically, and that was kind of a bummer. I would have liked a bit more challenge, but it's awesome. The music is absolutely fantastic. The graphic style is super cute, and it's just a really good game. You should definitely check it out. And here we have an unconventional Zelda game. It's Triforce Heroes. Well, like I said, it's not your typical Zelda game. If you are looking for a typical and classic Zelda game, I do not recommend this. This is mainly a multiplayer game. You can play this on your own, but it's a hassle. It's just really complicated and not fun in my opinion. So if you don't have any friends to play this with, I don't recommend it. You can play with gamers online, but you cannot really communicate. You have like a couple of buttons that just says hey or over here or something like that, and this is basically the only communication that you have. And this game consists of different rooms basically, and you have to, you know, clear puzzles with two other players. And this can be really funny, but it can also be really frustrating because sometimes the people don't understand what they have to do, and since you cannot communicate really, it just it's annoying. And sometimes you have these troll players that just throw you off a cliff or something. That's also really annoying, but you can block people, so it's not that bad. I had the most fun with the game when I was playing with friends. We were on Facebook at the same time, so if something was unclear, we could just communicate. And it's a neat game, but it's not I love it. It's just awesome. If you want to get one, I definitely recommend this because this has more songs, and it also has the same one as this. So this is the overall better version, and it's just really awesome. I'm just actually really bad at it. This has an online mode, and oh my god, I'm so bad. But I don't care, I just have a lot of fun with it. I play this at least, I don't know, once every month. Just a couple of songs, and that's just it. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing game. So simple, but oh my god. And it has music from all of the Final Fantasy titles, from 1 to 13 to, and no, even 14 I think, 14 as well, and a couple of other songs from other Square Enix games and just other spin-offs. And last but not least, Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. This is the version with a steelbook. I love Pokemon, but I've never been a fan of the 3rd gen, and this game did not change it because I loved X and Y so much. I thought I might be enjoying this as well because it's based off of the same engine and lots of the same mechanics and everything, so I thought, well, maybe I like it. I don't. Well, that's actually not true. I do like it, but it's not my favorite, and I have not finished it yet. I always try to finish it, but then I somehow get distracted, and I just never do. So I'm just not a fan of the 3rd generation. I don't think I ever will be. It's just 3 and 5, just I don't like them. Sorry. So that was my short 3DS collection video. I probably forgot a lot of things that I wanted to say because there's just so much to say about these games. But I hope you enjoyed it anyways, and I hope to see you next week.